he is losing. And the battlefield reality he faces is, I think, irreversible. In other words, over the last 7 months, President Zelensky and Ukraine have mobilized vastly better than has Russia. The only question really is, when do you start to see not just individual soldiers or small units surrender, but when you start to see larger units crumble, crack, and perhaps actually collapse? And I think that will be coming.
What we might be at here is really at the precipice of really the collapse of the Russian army in Ukraine, a moral collapse.
I think that's really the biggest fear right now that I have, is that he would conduct an attack against a NATO supply center inside of a place like Poland. That would certainly raise the specter of a direct Russian attack against a NATO ally. I'm not saying the risk of him detonating a nuclear device as a demonstration is zero. I think certainly the risk is probably higher today than it was a month ago. I just think if you walk down that escalation path before he gets to that point, which is a pretty severe escalation, there's probably something he would do intermediate.
Any use of nuclear weapons will have severe consequences for Russia. It will, of course, totally change the nature of the conflict. And we have also made it clear that a nuclear war can not be won and must never be fought.
Well, I think the message to him is, if you use a nuclear weapon, it's a suicide weapon. And the response from NATO and the United States doesn't have to be nuclear. First of all, I would say, Margaret, he's under extreme pressure. I mean, you have the failures on the battlefield, which we talked about, but also the mobilization's failing. I mean, what he's done is he's mobilized almost 300,000 people to leave the country.
In response to this annexation, Russia got hit by 100,000 more individual, personal, and other sanctions, showing that the West still has more that can be done to Russia. It can still get worse for Putin and for Russia. And even the use of tactical nuclear weapons on the battlefield won't change this at all.